Hi, welcome to Best Friends. I'm so glad you could join us today. It's the beginning of summer, and we have 81 kittens in foster care right now in various stages of kitten readiness for adoption. We don't place them until they're 2 pounds because the immunizations don't quite take if they're under body weight. Now, we only have 2 to show you today. We started out this morning with 10, so adoptions are quite good at the moment. However, if you've been looking for a kitten, you need to start dropping by because we do have some real cuties. Now then, why don't we show you some cats? The first of our kitties that we're showing you today is Nina. Nina, as you can see, is a medium-haired black cat with absolutely astounding green eyes. And let me tell you, when she doesn't want to do something, she can give you the cat stink eye that is unparalleled. Absolutely amazing. She is I believe already spayed, and her ears were beautiful when she came in, which is kind of remarkable for us. We just routinely check for ear mites here. But she was very matted, and so her coat is a little bit uneven yet, and that's simply because we had to demat her, and even as careful as you can be with that, sometimes you do get some areas of unevenness. But she probably isn't going to be a good kitty for a household with very young children. She is a little on the quiet side, but I think she could adapt easily to a household with older kids or with quiet kids, if such a thing exists. It doesn't in my world, but maybe in yours. This is one of the kittens that we have available. She was part of a litter of 5. All of the kittens except her have been adopted. She looks to me like she is wearing little white tennis shoes. I think she is so cute. She ought to be some sort of track star. Anyway, as with any of the kittens, she is 8 weeks old and very active, very busy, and very confident. Just an adorable kitten. This is, as you may have noticed, not a cat. It is black and white, which is consistent with our theme here, but it's a guinea pig. His name is Pipsqueak, which kind of fits him. He came into us with bumblefoot, which is a bacterial infection that is caused primarily by keeping animals on a wire surface. So if he goes into a home, it's a bacterial infection, so it's the irritation of being on the wire surface that allows entry of the bacteria. But he cannot have a hard surface or a wire surface. He has to have soft. And aspen shavings or the newspaper pellets, that kind of bedding is good for that sort of condition. You never want to put a small animal on pine or cedar shavings because they are toxic. and the fumes coming off of them can give them respiratory problems really fast. That was unnecessary. Anyway, this is Pipsqueak, and I'm sure he would love to come to your house and enjoy carrots and things. This is Pepper. Actually, she's very aptly named, not because she's spicy, but because the spotting on her head and tail really looks like Pepper. She came to us in beautiful shape, not one single flea. And on a white cat, let me tell you, that is remarkable. She is a little bit on the fritzy side. She's mellow, don't get me wrong, but she does startle. So probably you would not want this girl to go outside. If something startled her or scared her, you wouldn't find her again. But nice, chubby, beautiful coat on this cat. I think she's just incredibly decorative. Of course, there's a lot more to a cat than that, so you could admire her lovely green eyes and her big bushy tail too. She is just really a gorgeous kitty. This is Chloe. She's a spayed female. She came to us from a military family that was being reposted, and they did take the time to fill out a rather detailed personality profile, which lists her former vet and all of that information, which is much appreciated. Now, for some bizarre reason, and this happens to us, we have an amazing number of black cats right now. So to help those move through the shelter system, we're running a special this week on black cats that are already spayed or neutered, and this is one of them. So you would get $30 off the adoption for Chloe. Maybe that should have been Clawee, but no, she's not a particularly scratchy cat at all. And I think once she adjusted to an environment, a new home, she would probably be okay with kids. As you can see right now, that it's kind of a strange situation for her, and for some reason our dogs are just unusually noisy today, which is always a source of stress for a cat. But she has a gorgeous coat. It's a healthy cat, and I would certainly recommend her. Of course, she wouldn't be wearing white a lot, but, well, unless you didn't mind wearing a lot of Chloe's black fur too. Yes. This is Patches. Patches is called Patches because she was missing large tracts of hair after she came to us. She was very matted, and so the mats had to be cut out. They couldn't be removed in the normal, more gentle way because they were so tight to her skin, and they were really a problem. So her hair growth hasn't evened out yet, and you can see there's even a difference in color in some places. And Patches has been living in our volunteer coordinator's office, Chandra. You can check with her when you come in, since Patches isn't in adoption. She doesn't do real well with people reaching toward her in a cage setting, and so that's why she's in the office. She is a lovely cat. Rather intent on leaving, but she is a lovely cat. She really enjoys all the social interaction with the volunteers that come and go through the office, and she's very good at holding down your computer keyboard while you're using it. So with that in mind, she would tolerate a household probably that was busy, but not necessarily loud. She's not going to do real well with little bitty kids because when she startles, she does extend her claws. So anyway, Patches is a sweetheart of a girl, and we would recommend her as a really good adoption if you have the kind of home that would encourage her. Yeah, it's a pretty girl. Again, this is one of the few kittens that we have in adoption right now, and following the pattern of the week, black and white. Although since she is not yet spayed, she is not included on our black cat special. Again, the 4 little white paws, so cute, although this one is more of a tuxedo with her white neck. And look at the little blaze or the snip on her nose. Isn't that cute? She's very active. Yes, she is. Yes, you're going to stay with me. You have no choice. Oh, there is nothing really more adorable than a kitten. This is Lola. Doesn't she have gorgeous face markings? It looks like lightning bolts coming out from the end of her eyes, like some of that really exotic makeup you see on people on TV these days. Lola is a mackerel tabby. You can see the stripes are broken into spots on her side, and she is just a sweet, sweet cat. She loves to purr, she loves to be petted, and she has that wonderful brown tabby temperament. These are the guys you always see in the doll buggy with wearing the doll bonnet. We just had her spayed, so she's ready to go directly into her new home. These 2 adorable little budgies have been living with me in my office. I have 2 more budgies living in my office as we speak. So total we've got 4 right now. And I also have a lovely dove, a white dove with some brown flecks in its wings. It came to us with a very bald little head because it had been living among the crows. And crows aren't always very kind to domestic birds. Something to bear in mind if you have a bird that you see being picked on by a crow. Sometimes those guys need a little bit of help. And yeah, the crows will kill domestic birds like budgies. These are budgies. Most people call them parakeets, and I'm sure that since it's a matter of communication, it's perfectly correct. But they really are budgies, and for some reason it irritates me when someone calls an animal by a name that really isn't correct. Parakeets are a totally different bird. Anyway, our little budgies, which you will see advertised as parakeets, are a pair, and I would really like to keep them together. These 2 are quite bonded. They are constantly playing on their swing together and preening each other and playing with their toys. They're a very active pair. They don't do any squeaking much, really. They just twitter. It's a very calming thing. They are not hand tame, but that doesn't mean they couldn't be. Right now they're feeling rather exceptionally stressed, as you can see from the one that's sort of panting there. But that's because we picked up their cage and moved them from where they normally are. And birds, like most animals, are rather sensitive to having their environment changed abruptly. It's rather stressful for them. So we'll let them go back, And if you're interested in a bird, please come by. We don't place them in smoking households, so be aware of that. And of course, you do have to have adequate caging for them. I wanted to say hi to Rosie. Rosie will know why. And now, if you'll stick with us, we're going to go visit the dog area. Welcome to the dog portion of Best Friends. Maybe you'll take a minute to appreciate our new Get Acquainted area. It's not really new, but it is redone, and we're very happy about it. I think it looks so much more comfortable out here, and it's dry. When it rains, you can sit out here and be dry. What a concept. It is Washington. I also want you to think about stopping by the shelter and picking up pooper scooper bags for your mini walks with your dog this summer. It's such an important thing to do for our sound, for your neighbors, for your dog, for other dogs. Stop and pick up after your pet. It's how everyone knows you're a responsible owner. I know it's icky, it's nobody's favorite thing to do, but you have a covenant with your pet, and one of them is to see to it that it stays happy and healthy, and that includes picking up after it. So the bags are free. Come on by. It's a great thing that they're doing. This adorable little girl is about a year old. She has a beautiful, healthy, shiny coat. She just came up to adoption today, so she's not quite sure what is going on. But this dog is just eminently trainable. She is a very human-oriented dog. She's very responsive. I say, hey, you over here. Yeah, look. She's a very kind dog. And I really love that in a dog. She uses her paws kind of like a cat. She will tap you if she wants attention, and if she thinks your hand is moving away from where she wants it, she will use her paw to move your hand. I don't know. There are just some things that dogs do that they do naturally, and it just kind of tugs at your heart, and that's one of them that tugs at mine. That and the way that she lays her head in your lap, I think that's really endearing too. She's such a good girl. Yes, her is. See? This is one of those examples of not being able to tell what's in a book by its cover. This guy looks kind of scary, really. A part of it has to do with the brown undercoat that you see on his head and on his hindquarters, and underneath his black fur there is this funny brown shading. And that probably comes from his chow DNA that we certainly suspect exists here. And the other part of him is probably shepherd. But he is one heck of a nice guy. He hasn't been neutered yet. Of course, that's part of the adoption, so that would happen. But he is just lovable. That happens occasionally with chow mixes. You'll find just an unusually huggable, lovable dog in these guys. He's just a sweetheart, and he wants the microphone. Apparently he has something to say here. He's not very food motivated, and I don't know if he's even ball motivated, but I think just basic approval would be all you'd need to train him. He really likes people. He likes other dogs too. He's a sweetie. I like him. Yes, I do. Does need to gain a little bit of weight, although he is a good eater. He's been, he came to us awfully thin. I don't know what it is you think you're eating. Everything's up here. He does seem willing to eat treats off the ground, which tells me a little bit about possibly what he was used to in terms of upkeep, but he won't eat them out of your hand so far. Some dogs are trained not to do that, so they won't go to strangers. However, it's kind of a difficult thing when you're actually trying to work with them to train them. He would come around. You just have to work with him. Very nice dog. This is Duke. Duke is 3 years old. He is a neutered male, and he's a lab, pointer, but maybe pit mix. We're not sure. What he is very confident and very active and a little on the heavy side. Aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And, strong. And always hungry, in contrast to the one that we were talking about a minute ago. No problem here getting him to take treats. Not being completely slathered in dog spit when you give it to him is a little more difficult. Yes. But Duke was an owner release, so we do know a good bit about him. He's a very attractive dog, very handsome and clean, and has a great deal to recommend him. I think probably he would be very good with kids. He definitely has some body weight here to run off. I think he'd be a good indoor dog as well as outdoor dog. I don't know how well he is housebroken, but he is a, you know, with dogs, it's not that hard. I know people tell me that it is, but with a little bit of patience both ways. Another thing about Duke is that he should not go into a household with other male dogs. I think he would do quite well with female dogs. And that's more because we're a little uncertain about the bully breed. Uh-oh, don't fall in there. As you can see, he's not real big on limits, so clearly has been a part of a family. You're a good boy, yes. Yes. Oh, does that feel good? This is Frankie. Hi, Frankie. Frankie just came to us not very long ago at all. Frankie is a poodle. So if you have someone in the family with allergies to dogs, Frankie would be a very good bet. He is very clearly an indoor dog. Did I mention he was a 1.5 years old? I think I did. He's also already neutered, and he is able to get along with other dogs and with cats. I don't know about children, but definitely that's something that you could evaluate if you decide that you want Frankie. You could bring your kids down to meet him. With many small dogs, very active roughhousing kids are a little more difficult for a dog to tolerate, but kids that are respectful of the dog, you know, it come in even toddler size, so it just depends on how that works. So anyway, we have so many requests for dogs that are appropriate for apartment dwelling, and even though Frankie is a poodle, he does need exercise, so he would need regular walks if he is an indoor dog. However, he probably should be, because a little guy like this is just supremely insulted if they are asked to remain outside. That's not what they're about. And their coats get absolutely disastrous if you leave them outside for very long. He will have to be groomed, so that's something you would want to bear in mind in terms of an expense at the point that you adopt him. But what a sweet dog. He's just adorable. I think you're very cute. Yes, I do. So, Frankie is the last dog we have to show you today. I hope you'll join us again next month. And stop by the shelter in the meantime.